Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. We are going to be making this Happy Halloween brayer card, and basically I'm going to show you how we are going to brayer the background so that it looks like a night sky, a ghouly sky. Okay, so first what you want to do is you want to start off with some glossy cardstock, and the black stays on ink, and I'm going to use the stamp set House of Haunts, and I'm going to ink up our background image and stamp that right onto our cardstock. And be careful when you stamp onto glossy cardstock because it is a little slippery and you don't want that moving as you stamp it. And then the next step is to stamp our sentiment, Happy Halloween. Okay, great. Next part we're going to do is set up the brayering to do the colors and the background. So what I like to use is Post-it notes, and I have these great little Stampin' Up! Post-it notes. So I'm going to peel off 2 of those and tear, kind of roughly, just the bottom seam, and then layer that over top of the glossy cardstock. And doing it again, just with a little piece to do the end here. And you can kind of see that my ink wasn't too dry here yet, so it's already inking up my paper here. So basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that this has a little time to dry, and if you want to, you can use a heat gun to actually heat it to dry it. So the next step is to take our brayer, and we're going to ink this up in the lightest color first, which is our Daffodil Delight. And this brayer has been loved and used, so you can see there is still color on there, but it is clean. So what you're going to do is you're going to ink up your whole entire brayer, and then you're going to run it right over top of the cardstock, just like that, and keep going over and over and over again. And you'll see some of those lines just start to smooth out. Okay, so then the next step is to go for our Tangerine Tango, and we'll make the little sky. Now, you just rub off your brayer, and as you can see, it's kind of clean already. And since it's a lighter color first, it doesn't matter. And now I'm going to the Tangerine Tango, inking that up, setting that aside, and then taking it a little higher up and going across and blending. And you can add more color if you want, and then try to get that line to evaporate a little bit more, just by rolling on it. Okay, now the next step is to take this color off, or the Post-it note off. I'll throw that away. I'm going to use Always Artichoke for my green grass. Rub off the excess there from the tangerine. Ink up the Always Artichoke, and then run that across. Okay, so you get the idea of how to brayer, and that's how we made our night sky for the background of our card. So, what I would tell you is most important about this is don't stick your fingers in there. I don't know if you can see that, where I actually hit it with my finger and it still took a fingerprint. So you don't want it to take your fingerprint. But hopefully you can see the difference in the colors here. Gosh, I need to learn how to use this camera. Okay. So, next step is to do our little accessories. And I've got the Bat Punch, new from Stampin' Up. And you just unlock it, throw your cardstock in, punch out 1 and 2. And then I've got the 1-inch circle punch and some Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to create the moon. There's many ways to create the moon, but I just punched out the circle. I'm going to stick the circle back into the punch and punch it out again, giving me the half moon shape. So then I'm going to take my Tangerine Tango stamp pad and a sponge dauber, which are great little tools, and I'm just going to ink that up and then give myself a night moon. And I'll just stamp down. Okay, great. So these bats, all they need are a little dimensional. And we'll just put this one down here, flying off the card. Then we can adhere this moon to the card front and have this bat flying into the moon, just like that. Okay, now the next step is just to layer our card. So I have Always Artichoke here, and I'm going to fold this in half. Then I'm going to add some basic black. And the daffodil. And then the glossy cardstock. And notice I'm only touching my elements to make sure it's glued down. I'm not putting my fingerprints there. Instead, I just flip it over and then adhere it down that way. So there you have it, our Halloween, Happy Halloween card. Let me see if I can zoom in for you. Oops. And there you go. I hope you enjoyed the card today.